It's time to turn your life-challenging moments into life-changing messages. Welcome to the Power Lift Stories podcast, where we are interviewing women whose stories will leave you lifted up, fired up, and fueled up with hope, courage, and inspiration. We want to thank our sponsor, Powerful Journey, who helps women tell their stories, write their books, and building a profitable brand around both. Join the masterclass or the Speakers Academy at phyllisjenkins.com. That is PhyllisJenkins.com. Now here's your host, Phyllis Jenkins.
Welcome to the Powerful Journey podcast, formerly Power Lift Stories podcast, where we are interviewing women who have turned their life challenges into life-changing messages of hope, messages of inspiration, messages of encouragement that will help you not only survive, but help you to thrive. And I am super excited to have one of our Powerful Journey authors here with us today, Miss Dafani Norman. Welcome.
Thank you. I'm excited to be here.
Oh, I'm happy to have you back. This is actually your second time being on here, because when Dafani published her book, we had her to come on then, and we cheered her on. So let me just share a little about Dafani, and we'll jump right into our interview. She is a psalmist. She's a preacher, a counselor, a published author, as I mentioned before. And she grew up with a hunger to share her love of music. And let me just say, for those of you who were at the Powerful Journey Women's Conference a few years back, Dafani came down the aisle blowing it with her beautiful voice, singing her way to the stage as she began to share her message. So yes, you do have a beautiful voice. Her hunger for her love of music and the Word of God, sharing it with those around her. Great leaders, she says, have poured into her ministry, developing her for kingdom work. How great is that? Becoming the woman of God she is today has been a little rough, but through the love of her family, the strength of God, she made it. When she accepted her call to the ministry, she knew at that point that she had a responsibility to share with the world her experience and how she overcame them. In 2021, Dafani founded EnHERpreneur, a nonprofit organization that focuses on reaching out and creating confidence and providing resources for others who suffer from low self-esteem, lack of self-love, lack of physical self-care, mental and emotional abuse, and more. Dafani, I am going to ask you to jump in now and share a little bit more, especially about your Mending Hearts support service that you offer.
Thank you. First of all, let me say I am so glad to be back on Powerful Journey. I missed you, Miss Phyllis.
I missed you too.
It's been a while, but I try to keep up. So I'm so grateful to have gone through this journey. You pretty much summed it up. I've taken the opportunity since I've published my book to continue to share my story, which is where iRock was founded from, and it stands for I'm Reaching Out, Creating Confidence, which spun from my own deliverance from low self-esteem, from lack of caring, from depression and abuse. And so I run into a lot of people who struggle in those areas. And as a result, I founded this organization to give me the opportunity to reach back out to people who still struggle in those areas. And from that was developed my counseling services, Mending Heart Support Services, which it allows me to counsel and focus on mental and emotional abuse counseling, focusing on trauma, grief, and self-identity. So I'm excited about this journey. It's all new, it's all fast, but it's happening. Sometimes when you choose to step out, it happens the way that God desires it to. So I'm excited about everything that I have. It's a lot that I have going on, but I promise you, I want to let the world know, and those who are watching, Miss Phyllis, I could not have done any of this without you, with being one who struggled with finishing. And so through Powerful Journey, it allowed me to finish.
Well, and finish you did. You finished strong, and your message, oh my goodness, your message, Dafani, is reaching so many women that are broken. And what I'd like to do now is just ask you to share the title of your book and your why for writing your book.
All right, so we have my book. It's called Help, I'm Broken. And this is literally the story of my life. And it is an opportunity for me to share some experiences, because oftentimes people are not honest enough with themselves to say that they are broken. And when I experience the things that I've gone through with abuse, with dealing with things in my childhood, a broken marriage, an abusive, marriage, and a bitter divorce, and the story just goes on and on and on, of all the things that I experienced, I did not like the person that I had become through those experiences. And when God allowed me to be delivered and free from those situations, He began to explain to me why I experienced the things that I experienced. What was the reason? Because I did not understand why. And as God began to reveal things to me concerning myself, it allowed me to heal in areas that I didn't even realize I needed healing in. It allowed me to reach back into my childhood. It allowed me to identify my triggers. It allowed me to do a lot of self-evaluation work. And as a result, I decided to write this book, because some people are struggling with being healed from their past, with being healed from things that have happened, traumatically to them as a child, with things that they're still struggling with about themselves. Some people don't even know how to love because they've never been loved properly. And I can continue to just go on and on, but most of it is just a lot of self-work that has to be done in order for you to walk through a journey. So the entirety of this book, and the subtitle of this book, is Mending and Healing from Broken Places. And so that's what the objective of this book is about, to walk you from a place of being broken into being whole. I often tell people, since I've written this book, I came up with this whole thing about what my ultimate desire is. And I realized that my ultimate desire is to help heal the world one heart at a time. Why? Because people are doing things so much out of a broken place. And if the hearts are healed, I believe we'll be a little bit healthier in our decisions and our way of thinking. And so that's what my goal is, to help heal broken hearts. And it starts with yourself. And so that's where this came from. And I share some of my story. I share a couple of self-evaluation questions. So it's a book and a workbook in one. And at the end of doing the work, then we pray, because you have to be able to work through those emotions that you just felt. You got to be able to work through, the work that you just put in. So I'm excited to share this book with the world, to help them heal, even though it may take some time. It's a process, but if you do the work, you'll get to a place where you're whole.
I love how you have taken your experience and your pain, and you've turned it into a purpose where you are reaching out to help those who are now walking where you once walked. And if you would just share some of the table of contents that you go through with what you have in the book, and so that they'll get a taste of it.
All right. So one of my favorite chapters is chapter number 3, and it's called I Didn't See This Coming.
Mm.
And it teaches you to be honest about what you really did see. And although it says I didn't see it coming, it goes into another chapter that says, let's be honest, did you? And I'll share with another one of my favorite chapters is listening with your eyes. And I know it sounds weird, right? It sounds weird, but it teaches you to be honest about what you've seen, because your eyes won't lie to you. But sometimes we are so blinded by our emotions that we really don't see what's in front of us. I'll share this a little bit. I had a big habit of falling in love with potential, right? And it left me in a place where I was just not understanding why I continued to go through these bad relationships. But I realized it's because I fell in love with what I was hoping to see because of what God had revealed to me, instead of paying attention to what was right in front of me. And the whole time God was saying, what you see is what you get. See, what you see is what you get. But because I wasn't listening, and I wasn't paying attention into what I was literally looking at, I fell into some bad situations. And so let your eyes talk to you, because they're telling you the truth. And so you listen with your eyes. It teaches, so I can go on, but the another one is are you okay? It's a question you have to ask yourself, because we don't admit, we Superman, Superwoman. We try to put on this facade for people, but let's be honest. Are you okay? Because some of us are not. And if you're not able to be honest about whether you're okay, there's no way you can heal properly, which is another chapter in the book called Heal Properly.
That is so good. No, no, no. Do
Yeah.
y'all see why I wanted her to share some of the chapters? Oh my goodness, how great is that? And for those of you who are watching, what you don't see is Dafani is being interviewed in front of our Writer's Journey members. And Dafani, as you're speaking, I'm seeing their heads go, oh yes, they're agreeing with you with what you're saying. So very good. So very good. And I know that many lives have already been changed by your work, and many more will be changed as you continue to share what God has done for you and as you help so many others. As we begin to wrap up our interview, I'd like to set the stage for our very last question. And after you answer that question, we will ask you to let our audience know how they can connect with you, how they can get your book, and social media, all of that. So let's set the stage. You just stood on the Powerful Journey Women's Conference stage, which you did, and you shared your powerful, powerful story. As you looked into the audience, Dafani, you could see women nodding, yes. You could see them rocking and in agreement with what you were saying. You could even see women with tears flowing because your experience mirror where they are at the moment. But now the conference has ended. The women have all left to go to their vehicles. Dafani is left to pack up her things, and you are preparing to return home. What are 3 lessons or 3 key points that you hope every woman walked away with?
The first one would be honest with yourself. And once you do, ask for help. Ask for help. And then once you ask for help, receive the help. The second would be to remind them, or to make sure they understood, that staying broken is not an option. And I think if I could combine, because I wrote down a few, is that you are not too damaged to be healed. And I think I'll leave it there, because I went ahead and wrote a few others down, but I really, and once you come out of that place, share your story. Somebody needs what you have.
Wonderful. I was writing these down because they're so good. So Daphne said, ask for help. It sounds simple, but it is very difficult to do. So ask for help. Then she said, staying broken is not an option. So don't allow yourself to stay in a broken place. Not too damaged to be healed. Nothing is impossible for God. And then share your story. I mean, Daphne is here today sharing her story with you. And I know that hearts have been blessed by you just hearing a part of her story. So Daphne, how can they get your book? How can they connect with you?
So my book is available. You can go through my website at www.daphnenorman.com, or you can get it directly from Amazon. You can also reach me via Facebook. I'm Daphne Norman on Facebook. I am God's Favor 33 on Instagram, and I don't want y'all to follow me on TikTok because I'm silly and it's about me and my dog, so don't worry about it. But overall, you'll get to see my personality and where everything come from if you choose to find me on TikTok. But basically, Facebook and Instagram are the best places to catch me.
That is great. Now, Daphne, spell your first name because it is spelled a little different.
It's spelled Dafani is Daphne, and my last name is Norman, Norman. And if you're trying to find the book on Amazon, that's likely how you have to look it up, because for some reason you can't find it by the title. But look my name up on Instagram, on Amazon, and you'll find my book.
Very good. Well, Daphne, thank you so much for sharing today. Your message is powerful. Your book is impacting lives everywhere. And so for those of you who are watching today, we hope that you will get the book and then follow this young woman, because she's doing some amazing things that God is opening so many doors for her. So we're super excited. And let me just say again that if you are ready to tell your story, if you are ready to write your book, and even if you don't feel that you're ready, come and join the Writer's Journey. We have a 14-day free trial for you to come and just try it out, try the community out and see if it's the place for you. And we would love to have you come. Also, I'm going to ask you to save the date, April 20th, 2024, for our annual Powerful Journey Women's Conference. We are super excited about it. It's in the planning stages, and we have some great things that are going to take place that day. And each of the ladies that are in our Writer's Journey, you can't see them right now, but each of them will be on stage next year, April 20th, telling their stories, and they will be doing their book signings. So I also want you to go over to phyllisjenkins.com, sign up for the newsletter so that you will know exactly what's going on with Powerful Journey and all the great things that God is doing through our community as well. Daphne, thank you again for being here. So appreciate you. Looking forward to seeing all the great things that God is going to continue to do in your life.
Thank you, Miss Phyllis. I appreciate it. I promise you, this was a great experience for me, the whole Powerful Journey. So let me put your plug in. I guarantee you it's worth it. I was one who struggled with finishing my book, or even actually starting for that matter. And Powerful Journey was the reason I was able to finish. And I am starting to work on book 2. So
good.
Continue this journey.
Wonderful. Well, it's been great to have you on the Powerful Journey, and we look forward to continuing to see once again what God is doing for you. Thank you, everybody, for watching, and we will look forward to seeing you back here next week.
Thank you for joining us today. If you are interested in being on the show, go to phyllisjenkins.com. You can also sign up for the Powerful Journey Masterclass or the Speakers Academy at phyllisjenkins.com.